Hello, hello, hello. I am Benedicta and I am your host at Behind the Business. Today we're here with another episode and we have the wonderful Mr. Eman Effect. A friend, a brother, and business buddy. He is a big brother in the finance space, and we're going to be talking to him all about his business, his journey in entrepreneurship, the highs and the lows. So yeah, you're in for a good time. So Mr. Eman, welcome.
Welcome, Sister Benny. How are you?
Sister Benny. So what's up? Tell us what's the Eman Effect all about? How did you get into it, and what's it about?
Is that what you're starting with?
That's what we're starting with. Boring, and then we'll go into interesting.
Okay, please. No, the Eman Effect, basically, I've been a financial advisor for over 15 years. Like, I grew up in this kind of weird paradox where I grew up in Tower Hamlets, East London, a place called Limehouse.
Yep.
My postcode is E14, but I'm on a council estate, Nigerian parents, poverty, struggling. And I could look out my window and I could see the buildings, the Barclays building, Canary Wharf, E14.
Yeah.
Do you know what it's like to be poor and see billionaires that have got the same postcode as you?
Yeah.
It's a hard life. It's just a mad world.
But you could argue it's giving you something to look forward to.
Yeah, but that's what I always tell people though. Everyone has sight, but not everyone has vision. Because bare people see those buildings and they just see buildings.
Nothing. You're right.
But
you're right.
I saw those buildings and I saw an opportunity to try and change my situation. So I was like, I gotta get in these buildings. And basically by 22 became the youngest financial advisor in Barclays in the country. But then found that I was just making rich people richer. It's like, listen, I can't wake up every day. It used to be mad. I'd leave my council estate, see all my friends, family, go to work, see all these rich white people, then come back.
Messes with your mind.
I'm like, where are you lot during the week? Like, I would see you at home, go to church, 500 people, never see no one like me during the week. And it's just like, I just live in this kind of weird paradox. You know what I mean? It's like you go to the land of milk and honey and then you come back
to Egypt.
It's not making sense. So for me, it was just like, how do I make a difference? So I was like, you know what? I got made redundant. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to not go back. I'm going to just try and teach people. That's why I started off with a company called Noir Excel.
I was going to talk about that.
Black excellence. You know, like me, I like, name means something. Like, I'm out here. So I started off there, then moved on to the Eman Effect as it grew. And it was just about really trying to make finance fun, make it relatable, but encourage people to, you know, make better decisions, financial decisions.
I like the fact that you talk about fun, relatable, because those are the words I try to use. Like, accounting is not the first thing that you're not going to think fun and think accounting, but I try to make it relatable. And I think definitely I would say in the finance space, you definitely led. So before we come to Eman Effect and who you are today, let's talk a little bit about Noir Excel.
Yes.
How was that? Because I remember I met you when you were running Noir Excel. I think you had done like one event at that time and you were planning like another one. Let's talk about that, like the beginning of business, basically.
You know what? I always tell people, don't belittle the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, don't belittle the start, because all the things that I did at that time were preparing me for now.
That's right.
Do you know what I mean? But it was difficult. I remember my first event, you know, I put out tickets and, you know, posting and encouraging people to come. And then, you know, we had like 50 chairs, 7 people turned up.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? Even like, you know, when you get close, you're like, at least, I've already paid cameraman. Let me let some people come for free. Just to fill up the seats so we can. There were nobody, even free people didn't come. So I was like, wow, what have I done? And I could have given up. Do you know what I mean? I could have said, you know what?
This is not for me.
I'm forcing it. People don't want it. But man did it. And you know what? I did it. And I did it like there was still 50 people in that room. Even though there were 7. Yes. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so the reaction of people, the feedback, I knew that I was doing something right. And then what was mad is that a lot of the people that came then bought tickets for their friends and family for the next event.
Wow.
Then we advertised it. Then we had more work. So then we got 30 people. And I was doing it every other month. And before you know, we was getting 50 people. Then we got a bigger space. Then we were getting 100 people just coming in and teaching them. So the Noir Excel was a big lesson.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was a good starting ground. But then I realized that, you know what, sometimes like your name is important, but also sometimes your name will limit your reach.
Yes. Before we go there, because we're going to go there. Before we go there, what you just said, I think that's a lesson for every business owner. Like, how you start is not how you end.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is that you start. So like you say, 7 people, 30 people, 50 people, it grows. And you know, we can't just disregard all of that. And the truth is, the way you act with the 7 people is how you will act with the 100 people. Don't be deceived. A lot of people, and this comes to finances, right? What we both say, However you manage your £1,000 is how you will manage £1 million. If you're slapdash with your 1,000, you will be slapdash with your 1 million. And so with business, I think that's so important when you're starting out, how you treat every single customer.
Exactly.
Because it is that customer that has the opportunity to lead you to more customers and more customers and more customers. So yeah, don't despise the little days or the days of little beginning. But like you said, Noir Excel stood for Black excellence. And at some point you changed from Noir Excel to Eman Effect. What was that about, and why did you think that was necessary, and what changes have you seen?
It stood for Black excellence, but then I realized that I am Black excellence.
Amen.
Everywhere, everything I do, everything I stand for is I am. I don't need to name my company Black excellence, because when people meet me, they meet Black excellence.
Yes.
So that was one. Two, I got my first TV show. So I got, from being consistent on the content, I got a TV show with Channel 4, Save Well, Spend Better. So my first TV show, and that was to the nation. That was Channel 4, 8 p.m. prime time.
Yep.
We had like almost 1 million viewers every episode. And so all of a sudden it was a case of, am I just for Black people? Because the name of my company is saying I'm just for Black people.
Yeah.
But although that's my heart and that's my passion, I can reach more than that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So then I changed it to my name. So, people kept telling me, oh, I've gone to the shop, I was going to buy something, and I heard your voice in my head. That's the Eman Effect.
Yeah.
And then I had like 4 or 5 different people message me, that's the Eman Effect.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the name of the company.
The name of the business.
And so I changed the name to the Eman Effect.
And what would you say is the difference between what you were doing as Noir Excel and what you're doing now as the Eman Effect?
I would say impact is the difference.
Wow.
So before I was helping, like I said, I was talking to 50 to 100.
Yeah.
Now I talk to millions. Like now I'm on Good Morning Britain.
Yep.
I'm on Steph's Pat Lunch, Jeremy Vine, Sky News. Like I'm talking to millions of people throughout the country. I walk on the street, people know who I am wherever I go, and it's all races. I was in Newcastle the other day giving a talk, and I had these white women like, I was thinking, rah. You know what I mean?
You've blown.
This is it. I'm gone. I'm gone.
And this is the thing, right? Yeah. You. I think, would you say that if you remained as Noir Excel, you wouldn't have been able to come this far?
Yeah, but I think also my mindset, right? So if I remained as Noir Excel, I would just be focusing on the community, on just my community. Yeah. And what we have to also understand is that the impact, my community is only in a certain spot. So my job is not to keep my community in that spot and just make them feel good about where they're at. My job is to show my community where we can be.
To move them to
be. So that Nelson Mandela, it always seems impossible till it's done. Like now people can say it's possible for me to be on national television because Eman's on it. Do you see what I'm saying?
Do you think that you talking about that? Do you think you carry a weight? Because I not a weight in a negative aspect, but for example, there's a lot of us in the finance space. We've done events together with other finance people. But the truth is, you were probably the first person that was kind of leading the way for the black, at least for the black people in this space. Do you think you carry a weight in terms of that responsibility? Like, all these guys are looking at me like, if I'm on TV, then they now think they can be on TV. If I do this, then they can do. Like, how does that play? Does it play an effect or not?
Nah, not that way. I feel I carry a weight because I know that when the rooms I walk into, number one, I'm the only black person in that room. Number two, I'm the only person in that room that's going to sound like how I sound. So what people have to understand is the same way you hear me on social media, when I'm sitting down with ITV, this is the same way I talk. Yeah. Do you understand? I let them know that we can be professional and still sound like we're from ends. Yes. No one said that you have to sound like Kwasi Kwantead to be the accepted black person.
Talking about that, I remember when I went for a job just years ago now, and I was going from, obviously I'm born in Southeast London.
Yeah.
And so I have a little bit of a Southeast London twang. And so I remember when I was going for my first job in private sector, KPMG. And one of the things they said, they gave me the job, but they was like, oh, you're going to have to stay at this particular level. Yeah. You can't go for a higher level because we're a bit concerned about how you may sound before the client. And obviously I knew what they were trying to say in terms of it can't be because of my looks, because I know I got that on top. But I knew it was about the accent. Yeah. But I was thinking to myself, the fact that I have an accent, does that make me less of an accountant? Does that make me less of a professional? And so I really appreciate when you say, do you know what? I'm sitting with ITV, I'm sitting with BBC, and this is how I sound, right? And they're having to accept you like that. But what do you think is making them accept you? Because they're not going to accept some other people that sound like that.
Yeah, you know what is that for me, I've made the things that made me different. So I remember I used to work for Barclays, 22. So I got there. The whole time I'm there, the way I talk, the way I walk,
Yeah.
the way I dress. Like, do you know what I mean? My personality, do you know what I mean? The way I express myself. They've tried to change me. And at that time, basically what they were saying is that you need to sound like a middle-aged white man.
You're too black.
You're too black.
You're
like,
too black.
but now, the same Barclays, I'm their
looking for
ambassador.
you.
I'm their ambassador for the year.
Exactly.
So Barclays say, I want to give content to the country. Oh yeah, Eman, we need you. So the point is that I made the things that they told me weren't good enough to be my superpower. Because guess what? When I go on television and I talk like this and whatever, every time, all the feedback they get when they get feedback afterwards from from viewers, he's so relatable.
That's it.
I feel like I could talk to him. I feel like I know him. I feel like he's someone normal. I never see anyone in this finance space where I feel like they could be my mate.
Yeah.
They could be someone that I could meet on a day-to-day.
Yeah.
And so because of that, it's now unique. Whereas before, it was my difference and it was a problem.
Yeah.
But now we're in a world where people are like, actually, I don't trust these politicians.
Yep.
So why would I now want to put on a suit and look like a politician and then speak like them and then expect you to believe what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, do you understand? So we're now here so we make so the maddest part is that they will try and deliver a message, but nobody wants to listen to it. Go on their page. Go and see how much comments.
To be fair, that you're not going to follow Barclays on social media.
It's not what you want. Like, do you know what I mean? A lot of them, they don't know how to communicate and relate, make this stuff fun, engaging, and so forth. So they need people to do that. So for me, it's just been a blessing to be my authentic self. The other day I went to do a talk in Cardiff for Barclays, and it was 100 of their leaders.
Yeah.
And they asked me to give a talk to help their leaders understand, diversity and inclusion and how they can not miss talent like myself. Because at the end of the day, I used to be there, and now I've left, and now you have to pay me a lot of money to get me to come back
in. Yeah.
Whereas you could have, I was here, you could have used me
for free.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
My salary.
But exactly, you could have used me, but you missed out because you couldn't see the potential. And I was so emotional because I felt like, wow, you know what? Ain't it mad that my manager used to spend their day trying to change me, and now I'm here training managers on how to find talent like me.
Yeah, and I think there's two things that come to mind. I think there's this place of opportunity and preparation, right? I think that the opportunities will always come, but will you be prepared? And so, talking about the fact that you had gone through Barclays, you are a professional, you are qualified, and I think people must not disregard that, because someone will come with no education and say, I'm just going to talk like a street man and I'm going to make it. No, you are qualified, you are professional, but then you have also, there's a place of time. So where at the time, maybe when you were doing it with No Excel, or at the time when you were being Emmanuel in Barclays, that wasn't you were being yourself, but the opportunity had not come. And I think we all know George Floyd, lockdown and all of that really changed the dynamic from a corporate point of view to now wanting black talent and wanting black people to be the voices, but not just any black talent or any black voice, like a professional sounding, someone who knows what they're talking about. So I think what I would say is, or my question is, would you say that that timing aspect is what made it to come together? Or do you think if things like George Floyd and all of that never happened, do you think that we would still be on this trajectory with them wanting black people to speak?
I think what's important is you do the work, then the opportunities come.
Yeah.
I think the problem is that we are too busy trying to find the opportunities and then trying to do the work, but it's too late. It's too late. So I left my last company in March 2019, and then I said, listen, if I could work for these men 9 to 5, how much hours can I work for myself?
Exactly.
So I was doing lives. I was the first to do lives with interviews. Like, not everyone does it now, but I was the first to have lives and bring interviews. So I'm like, I was on TV and they wouldn't make the shows I want, so I'm going to make the content for the shows that I would want to be on.
Yeah.
So I started inviting my friends and people that I know to come and do guests and interview them, so other people could see inspiring black people that they could inspire into stories and say, well, I can do this, I can be this. Oh, this person, because sometimes when you see people on social media, you just assume that they've always been in this position. You forget the work. Like, they could have only been in this position for 5 minutes.
Literally.
But you think that they've been there all life. Do you know what I mean? And so it's about telling the story so people can be inspired to change their situations. And then I would connect to people, I would do events, I talk for free.
Yeah.
Like, now, yes, I get paid good money to talk, but I used to talk for free.
Yeah.
And so some people are not prepared to talk because they're like, I know my worth. What is your worth?
When you haven't shown it.
You haven't. What is your worth?
Yeah.
Your people are so quick to take money and they're not even sure they can complete the job. You see, by the time I took money from anyone, I knew I could deliver.
Yeah.
because I've been delivering for free.
That's it.
So if I can give you all of that for free, what can I give you when you pay me? You understand what I'm trying to say? So it's one of those things for me that I did the work and then had the show. So now I got an agent. And that's another thing. Who is in rooms speaking for you when you're not
there?
Rooms
How did you get an agent? Because I've talked about this. We've had Bola on the show. We talked about agent, and we had Timmy as well, who also has an agent. How did you get your agent? I think everyone has a slightly different story. How did you look for them? Did they look for you? How did it work?
No, you know what? When I did my first show, there's a lady on there called Anna Williamson, and this is why I just tell people, like, maybe me, I'm a people person anyway. I get on with everyone. I get on. I'm the person that says hello to people on the street, randoms. I say hello to people, they look scared. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna. I'm just saying good morning. We still do that where I come from. You know, my mum taught me to greet. I know how to greet. Some of you don't know how to greet, but I know how to greet. Do you know what I mean? Mum taught me early. So for me, I was speaking to her and just learning. So I was on the show with her. I was on the show with Bianca. Bola helped me get on the show. So Bola helped me introduce me to the. She had an audition, and then she passed my name at the end of her audition, and that's how I got an audition. And so Bola helped me get on the show, and then so I met them, and then I was just close with them, and then when I finished, while we were on there, we had a WhatsApp group, and Anna's agent Sam joined the WhatsApp group. So Anna does Celeb Go Dating. She's the white lady on Celeb Go Dating. So she does a lot of dating stuff and like writes in magazines all about relationships and stuff like that. So when we finished, I was like, oh, I saw you had an agent. Can I speak to your agent? So I spoke to her agent. She took me on. I had no work. No, as in I had no other job other than we just finished the show. There's nothing. And she actually dropped two of her acts. She dropped them to take me on.
Wow.
And then she just emailed and messaged and called everyone, and nobody was listening.
Wow.
Nobody cared.
Even with an agent.
Then we had the pandemic. So now we're talking about money. Then we had George Floyd.
Yeah.
So not only are we talking about money, we now need a black person to talk about money.
Yeah.
And so all those people that blanked her, now like, oh, remember that woman? She had a black guy on finance. All of a sudden, her emails are they're just replying to her. All of a sudden, I listened. I told you the maddest story. So we messaged this morning. Blank. No, not for us.
Our type.
Jeremy Vine, not for us. Not This morning, messaged on a Thursday. Oh, can we speak to Emmanuel? Got on a call on Friday. On Monday, I was live on the television. Live from my living room on This Morning, ITV prime time.
Wow.
And so and then you just take it. And the thing is, you do it and you get better as you go. Then we did Morning Live. So there was a time I was on BBC Morning Live. We did a series for them and so forth. And then you just do these little bits, and you get better, and you realize your style and so forth, because it's different. And then so now
the thing that I appreciate, and I've been trying to say with business, is that, and I'm trying to push this message of business or entrepreneurship, whatever you want to call it, owning your own money, owning your own space. The truth is, how big you've grown now, you would never have been able to grow that big under Barclays or under any company 9 to 5. Never. And so for me, it's also pushing that message that, do you know what? Yes, you can learn from a place, but sometimes it's like, imagine a tree trying to grow under another tree. It just can't work. Like, each tree needs to have its own space to grow and be big, right? Yeah. And so if you know that you have that potential within you to be big, right? You're sometimes going to need to take that step away to be able to become like this. Imagine you're on BBC, ITV, all of them, and this is someone who in their 9 to 5 was being told, like you say, you're not talking properly, you're not dressing properly, whatever it is that they were saying to you. And so this is an encouragement as well for anyone who might feel like they're being boxed at the moment, but you know that there's so much more, that literally you're like living proof that you can be so much greater. But
it's difficult. Sometimes I want the 9 to 5. I'm not going to lie.
Let's talk about that.
Sometimes, you know, the other day, there was a madness here. The other day, so I was speaking to this bank and they were like, yeah, we're trying to get more black talent in. And I'm thinking, you know what, this job sounds great, you know.
The one that they're
sounds great. I'm thinking, yeah, they're gonna come for me. Then by the end of the talk, they were like, if you know anyone, let us know. I was thinking, rah, how come you didn't offer it to me? Yeah. So I spoke to someone and said, how can they manage you?
They can't.
You're on national television.
They literally.
Who wants to manage you?
Yeah.
Who wants to try and control you? Like, and you realize that you get to a certain level where even in you are a business. You're an entity. You're your own thing. Like,
you got people under you that you need to pay.
When I think about, I used to be a cashier at Barclays, and now I collaborate with them.
Wow.
Do you understand? Like,
it's a change in dynamics.
everything. But it's one of them things where I can't lose myself. And that's the thing I always tell people. The biggest thing in this bit, you can't lose yourself. You got to know who you are.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not defined by anyone.
Like, or any company or any contract or whatever.
Anything.
And that's something I want to talk about. So you talked about like in Cardiff and people coming up to you. You are famous, whether you like it or not.
Whether I like it or not.
Whether you like it or not, I think you've crossed the barrier.
Yeah.
Crossed the limit.
I've realised recently.
How has that affected you? How has that affected you, and how has it affected your family?
It's a bit mad. Like, you see, before, if I wanted to go somewhere, I would just go.
Yeah.
I would just carry myself and I would go. And me, I'm life of the party. I'm staying to the end. These days, I have to do calculation.
Yeah.
Because I have to know, where am I going? Who am I going with? Or am I going on my own? If I'm going on my own, what's my entrance? What's my exit? Like, do you like, you have to plan this out. For example, Byron and Bianca. So Bianca that I did the TV show with, they had a networking thing on a boat.
Yeah.
Then Bianca's my sis, so if she says come, I'm just gonna have to come. And we're on a boat, can't leave the boat. So I've got on the boat now. I'm trying to be humble. Let me find a little one spot.
No.
I sat down. If I tell you the queue,
not even people. Queue.
I'm speaking to one person. There's already somebody waiting, loitering, pretending that they're waiting for something else. Come in, and then I didn't notice that there was a lady sitting next to me. After about 20 minutes of about maybe like 6-7 people that has come over, the lady says, "How do you do it?
Yeah.
How do you always smile and make people feel welcome,
Boy.
whether you're happy or you're not happy?"
On all the time.
I said, "Listen, you've got to forget. You know, like at work, they say leave your feelings at the door. Like, that's how it doesn't matter how you feel, because you got to understand. Someone follows your content.
Yeah.
Someone likes your content. Someone shares your content. If I make my money in the public, I can't meet the public and not be happy.
Ooh.
Yes. This public is paying my bills."
That's true.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So I've got to understand, but I've also got to be careful in regards to, if I feel like I'm not going to be the best version of myself, stay in my yard.
That's true.
Do you understand?
That's true.
Can't go out.
Your reputation and your brand is literally you.
Is it? And even little things like, so for even then, I had booked that from before. Then I had to go to Stespat lunch. So it's in Leeds. So I've gone to Leeds. I've come from Leeds. I've realised I'm not going to make it home to get change and back. But I know that when I get to this place, people are going to want pictures. So I've had to go to the suit shop, get a new shirt, a new jacket, just so I look neat. Because I know what I represent. Do you understand? And I know what people are expecting. Yeah. Like, what, Eman? Is that you, yeah?
It's wearing some dusty.
Looking, not even smelling fresh. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like, now you're thinking, right, don't meet your heroes. Like, you look better on the internet than in real life. Do you know what I mean? You understand?
No, but it's true. And I think that that's something for everyone to know, right? Like, as you grow in influence, as you grow in this space, like you said, for me, I say you're always on. And it's so funny because these things can be draining. What should have been a fun party, you're now attending to clients. You're actually working. But I also think that generally people should also recognize that, and they should know like boundaries.
It's impossible.
Customers need to know boundaries.
Customers, it's impossible. You see, especially, let's just say, black customers, they're too friendly, too friend. Like, you know, like the maddest part is, you want to pay as little as possible, but you want the most service.
The gold package.
You want the package that's not even on the list. You created your own package. Your WhatsApp, you're sending me chain messages.
What?
Why am I in your chain message?
What?
So now you've got blocked. Now you're
forward to a friend.
It's mad. No, so, but this is where we have to. So I set boundaries. So now you have to email.
Yeah.
You can't WhatsApp. If you WhatsApp me, it's gonna take 5 days, because it's only when I've sat down and I've got nothing to do that I'm gonna look at this WhatsApp. So you've got to set the boundaries in regards to the communication, because also service is important to me. Exactly. So if I've got a PA, why am I answering WhatsApps?
Exactly.
My PA can't see my WhatsApp, so I've got to send the traffic to where it can be serviced properly. So it's really important for you to understand that, and also to respect yourself, because one thing I also say is that sometimes when you're too open, like me, I'm an open person. When you're too open, when it's time to charge,
it's like
you've already given. How can I tell you to pay X for a 1-to-1? You've already given me
the 1-to-1
already right here.
2 hours.
You've already talked everything. Do you know what I mean? So it's really important to actually have those barriers, so that if people really want your service, let them pay for it. Do you know what I mean?
And I think that's one thing we've always, I think, as a community, struggled with a little bit. Number one, as a customer, don't be that customer that wants to pay the least, please. If you genuinely value the person, pay the price. But also, even as a business owner, you know, being able to say, do you know what, this is not serving me. And so my question to you is, when have you had to literally, maybe like a negative situation where you've had to tell someone, look, this is it, or have you had to end a contract, terminate something?
Everything. I'm telling you, you have to understand who I am. I am, and I had to go to therapy. So, you know, I had my best year, my first year where I cracked over 100K in 2021.
Yeah.
And I said, how do I improve? So I got Remy. So I got Remy Ray to be my
Remy
business
was on
coach.
as well.
Is it? Yeah. So I got Remy to be my business coach and to say, look, where should I improve? Because this is the thing. You do something, you achieve something on your own, and it's like all of a sudden it's like you're leaning on, oh well, I must be.
Yeah.
No, I say, look, I challenge everything. I want you to break everything down because I need to know. And one thing that I realized, especially, was I need to go to therapy because I was a person where, especially like if I saw a single mom or someone said that they're struggling, all of a sudden I'm ready to give them
All your money
everything.
in your bank account.
I'm ready to give them everything and
Free.
help and did it. But yeah, this person's got Louis Vuitton. I don't got Louis Vuitton. This person, they got a better couch on television than me.
Boy.
Do you understand? So it's sometimes you have to understand that it's not that people can't pay for your service. It's that they don't value your service.
Yeah.
And also you don't value your service.
Exactly.
Because you're making excuses. So when I went to therapy, I realized that a lot of the time my dad was studying to do ACCA. He was an accountant. So he wasn't around when I was young. So I remember my mum used to struggle with the shopping bags, and I was young. I couldn't help her because I was a kid. And so I feel like there was a lot of trauma that I was carrying in the fact of guilt of not being able to see my mum struggle and seeing her and me not being able to help. That now when I see single mums or people that feel like they're in need, it touches a spot that makes me react. But the reality is that I'm devaluing myself. I'm devaluing and also, what is the point of me being a hero outside and being a villain at home?
Exactly.
Because I'm so busy serving the world, but I'm not serving my kids.
Yeah.
I'm not serving my wife.
Yeah.
My wife that wakes up every day and thinks how she can help and support me. I'm not having time to serve her because I'm running around trying to help people for
everybody
free.
else
For free, just to be no.
Would you say there's been a time in your business, obviously probably not now, but a time in the past where like your family has actually suffered because of the business?
I remember, and this is when I had to change. I remember my third daughter, Eliora. I remember coming home and asking my wife, when did she get that big?
Wow.
I'd spent so much time in the office. This girl has grown. I've missed. I'm like, what happened? Is that Ellie?
Yeah.
Like, what I remember of her, how she looked, she's looking completely different.
Yeah.
Because I've just been so focused helping everyone else. And then not even just helping everyone else for free.
Yeah.
I'm out here giving talks for free, doing one-to-ones for free, doing this for half price. That's it.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was a realization that actually, I've got to value who I am. I've got to value the fact that I've got many, many years of experience. I've got to value the fact that I've got a wife and kids.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna not help my kids with their homework, or I'm not gonna be able to take them to school in the morning, there must be a money for that.
It has to make sense.
Make
it make sense.
If there's no money for that, let me just take my kids to. There's a value in that.
Yeah.
So one thing that sometimes we do is that things that maybe don't have a financial value, we forget the actual life value
of it.
There's a value, because if I'm not with my kids and they grow up, when they're now 16, 17, and I want to tell them, oh, don't do this, or don't smoke, or don't do, they're going to be like, who are you?
And then you become that parent that's like, oh, I built all of this for you. I've been working my whole life for you. And then your 16-year-old will tell you, yeah, but I didn't want that.
I didn't ask for that. I don't even know.
What are you going to say?
I don't know you.
Literally.
And so for me, that was when I was like, no, I need to make sure that I'm more flexible and I'm home and I'm able to take them to school. And even like you talk about the fame, like my son, for example, my boy Ethan, my second son, and he was at school and they asked him to present something in front of the class, and then he was acting a bit shy, and the teacher's like, Ethan, you can't be shy, your daddy's on the TV. And he was so happy that the teacher has seen me on the TV. If you see the way his hand started to fling and the guy was presenting the team up, I said, wow. And this is the thing for him and for my children, me being on the television is normal. When we grew up, man saw Mr. Motivator and man saw Ainsley Harriet.
Yeah.
These are not men that I can relate to.
Yeah.
These are not the type of black men that I know.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say? But now for them, they can see their dad and say, "Wow, no, my dad's on it." So whatever I want to be, I can be.
it.
There's no limitation to that.
Literally.
Then they see their Uncle Tayo on the TV as well.
Yeah.
The other day, Ellie saw Tayo on the TV. She was like, "Oh, you should get Uncle Tayo to come and look at our bathroom. I said, look at you. You haven't paid 1 bill. You now want to redecorate bathroom.
With mouth. With mouth.
But these are the inspirations. And so
Yeah.
when for me, I always tell people this: you may not be able to leave a large sum of money for your kids, but you can leave life insurance and a network.
100.
2 things.
Yeah.
You can go out and build a network of people that know you and support you, and you can leave that network to your children to build, and you can leave a life insurance. So whenever you die, there's money available to them to build on whatever you've left.
Yes. Let's talk about that. So even in terms of business and family, I'm sure, you know, you've said it many times, your why is your family.
Yeah, man.
Your why is, your family is the reason why you do what you do. I guess, what would you say to other people who maybe are in a space where maybe they're in the building stage, they haven't reached 100K yet, and maybe their family's suffering a little bit? Like, how did you come out of that? How do you come out of that to save the family, but at the same time still become who you want to be in business?
I think for me, there's so many things in this. Number one, you say your why is your family, but you're never with your family. So how can it be your why? So that was a lie that I was telling. I was saying everything. My family is my why. My family is my why. When was you with your family?
The same family.
The same family that is your why. You haven't seen them in years.
Wow.
Like, you're in and out. Even when you're here, you're not present. This is why I tell people, see therapy. It changed. Oh, that thing. And even now, that therapy has meant that my money's gone crazy because of therapy.
Yeah.
Because you have to understand, I come from poverty. So when you're at the bottom, there's nothing to lose, right? So you take every opportunity.
Yeah.
You're trying to catch everything. And so now you've now got to a level where you're doing well, but I'm still using the same ticks. I'm still using the same triggers that got me to where I am, but I'm not in that space anymore. When did I get a chance to realize that? In therapy. Because when do you actually stop and think about you and how you work and how you operate? And so in therapy, I realized, listen, you are doing yourself and your family and everyone a disservice, because you're not taking the time to really understand what is your why now.
Yeah.
What are the things? What are you working for?
Your why should actually change, because at the end of the day, if you've achieved the goals, a lot of people say, oh, 100K, I just want to make 100K. Okay, now you've made 100K, what next?
Listen, I always tell people, I come from poverty. So my thing was, I want to be a millionaire. When I've now made money and I've got to a certain part, I was like, I don't want to be a millionaire. Not that I don't want to be a millionaire. One day, no matter what I do, I'm going to be a millionaire. But
that's not going to give you the satisfaction.
I'm already on the path. Yeah. But no matter what I do, everything just multiplies. I'm going to be a millionaire. We thank God, and make I use it well. But the thing is that when it comes to what's actually important, I can't be a millionaire and not have a relationship with my kids.
Or your wife.
Or my wife. And also, you know what I realized? So I realized that actually I need to take a step back. My wife have supported me on this journey. When I started the work, so she was there with a clipboard ticking everybody's name. My wife even had like 3,000 followers from doing her cakes. Yeah. I had none. Wow. So she was posting. She got one of her cake clients had a radio show. She got me on the radio show. I said, listen,
shout out to the missus.
All of this, what have you done? What dream are you supporting for your wife? Now you are living your dreams. What are your wife's dreams? What are your wife's dreams? I said, listen, Eman, you got to take a step back. I started working from home, taking the kids to school.
Wow. I've
started, what do you want? She wanted to do a course. I paid for the course. What's important to you? Oh, you want to spend more time? I gave her access to my diary so she could book in time. So anytime she wants to go on a date, boom, she can book in my diary. We're there.
One time.
There. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? There's no messing about. And so I had to understand that actually this thing is not just one way.
That's right.
Like, it's not just one way. I can't just say, okay, I'm making money, we're living a better life now, you should be happy. Who said? Yeah. Who said that was amazing?
Non-tangibles.
Who said that's her happiness?
Yeah.
Like, that's not.
And heaven forbid, if something was to happen to you, who are you going to fall back on?
Come on.
Your customers are not coming to hospital to see you. They're looking for the next financial
advisor,
the next accountant that can do their tax return.
They're gone.
So you need to actually pay attention to those people who will actually be there for you and who have helped you to reach the goal that you've achieved right
Definitely. Now. So family is really important. That friends thing is a joke thing. Friends, you know what I've realized? Like the more this friends thing it's just fake. It's just fake.
Why do you say that?
No, you know what it is that
there's no friends in business.
There's no
or there's no friends at all.
I think personally, there are people like yourself, Bola, Bianca, people that are in my industry that I'm more closer to you guys than I am to people that I grew up with that I've known for time. As much as I've known them, because really and truly, a lot of the time, as you succeed, people start to project.
Yep.
So what you are is your success is a representation of somebody else's failures.
Can I add something to that? Not just friends, even family members.
Oh Lord,
Let's go there.
we've gone there.
I come from a very big family. I'm not going to say anybody's name or anything.
Yeah.
But I emphasize that I come from a very big family because it means there's even more people to deal with. And I've realized personally, the more I've gone up certain ladders, the less I want to talk to certain people that are even my family members, let alone my friends.
You know what's the maddest? Yeah. You know what's mad? Yeah. A lot of my friends that I grew up with, yeah, they don't message, man. They don't call, man. Whatever, and it's calm. Somebody will have a birthday party. We'll all be meeting, and we'll talk about what we used to do at Sunday school, and you know what I mean, whatever. Yeah. But when they see me, they will now tell me, "Oh, I see you're doing well."
Expectation.
My friends are always sending me your videos, bruv. How come you never send?
Why are you not sending the videos? Why are you not supporting? Why are you not sharing?
Never ever. Never seen that at none of my events.
I do a video talking about finances or whatever, and you're messaging me to say, "Oh, nice dress." Was I not speaking English? Is it that the value of the words of my mouth mean nothing? That the only thing you could see in that whole video was my dress or my nose, and you only get that from the so-called friends and family, close people that are supposed to, that you would think you would get the most support from, that would appreciate the journey.
My diehards, when I tell you the people that go hard for me on social media, I've never met them. Maybe they've come to my event and I've met them, but I've never known them before personally in the social media thing. But they will repost everything, they'll comment on everything, they'll share. You have to understand. And remember, I see my friends on social media. They be posting. they be reposting. Yeah. They be liking and commenting. They be sharing stuff in the chat. Yeah. It's not my stuff.
The truth is, I think that just before this, we were having a session with my sister. She was asking me about friends, business and family. Yeah. The truth is, I feel that the closer people are to you, the harder they can accept, the harder it is for them to accept where you're going and who you're becoming. And so, I think that, boy, it is what it is.
No, it is what it is. But I think also it's important that you, especially in business, understand. For me, I just surround myself with like-minded people.
That's it.
If I'm in a jam and I can't phone you to say, look, what's your advice on this, or what's your thoughts on that? Not even on a financial, but just on a mindset. Yeah. One thing I can say, I can call you and talk about any situation. Yeah. We've had talks about bare different, whether it's family, whether it's business, whatever. And we can talk. That's all that's important to me right now, where I'm going.
That's the most value.
Do you understand? And then I'll just keep whatever. You can't make everyone happy. Like I always tell the story, the man, the kid and the donkey. You know what I mean? Like the man's on the donkey, people say you should put your son on the donkey. You put the son on the donkey. So why uncle? So then you both get in a donkey. Then you say, right, the two of you on the donkey, how's you gonna break the donkey's back? Then he carries the donkey. People say, oh, you're carrying the donkey. Like it doesn't matter what you do in this life, somebody's gonna have an opinion. So you just gotta know your heart, why you're doing what you're doing, and just keep it moving.
Cool. As we begin to round up, any last words of encouragement or positive words that you would like to share to other entrepreneurs, business people, whether in the family space, relationship space, whatever, encouragement to someone who wants to do what you're doing?
I just think the biggest thing is a lot of us, you look at where you are and you define yourself by where you are. Yeah. Don't ever allow where you are to be a limit to where you're going to. Yeah. Like, so for me, I was on a council estate, but my mind was in the Canary Wharf Tower. Do you know what I mean? My goals, my dreams, my actions. Sometimes people tell me they want to change their life, but their actions tell me they want to stay exactly where they are. Don't tell me you want to start a business yet you don't listen to. You're not even common simple things like watching YouTube videos about that industry, listen to the top voices in that space, go into seminars and workshops in that space. If you're not doing the basics, don't tell me you want to change your life. You want to stay exactly where you are. You're just doing lip service. And the maddest thing is not for me, it's for you. Because I'm doing me. I know where I'm going. I know where I'm working. So for me, it's really important. Like, if you want it, like I said, if I could work 9 to 5 for somebody else's dream, because remember, all the job is somebody had a dream, they made it come true, and now they can afford to pay you. Yes. So if somebody else is dreaming, why are you not dreaming? Yeah. So make sure that the dreams that you have for yourself, you're doing the work to achieve that. Awesome. Thank you so much. That has been so insightful, so good, so good. Can't wait to have you back another time. But in the meantime, thank you so much for listening, and we will be back with another session on Behind the Business.